Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, August 12th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. Without further ado, let's get into the news. The film Killing Gawker has found its director. If you don't know, Killing Gawker is about how Hulk Hogan and his legal team took down the Gawker website. The director will be Gus Van Sant, who's a very, very famous director. This is all about, the movie is about, again, taking down of the Gawker website, which was an investigative website on celebrities and news. It's going to feature Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. So, yeah, just letting you know. All right, just letting you know. AEW's eternal belief on the Lucha Brothers contract and their exit is that they will be leaving the company and will possibly be joining the WWE when their contracts expires. It sucks. I do think they will inevitably end up back in AEW. And part of the reason that they're leaving is they just couldn't get in contact with the Young Bucks. Pentagon really didn't want to stay, and Phoenix is loyal to his brother, and that's kind of it. A judge denies Vince McMahon's motion to block Janelle Grant's petition for a peak wellness records. Like I said, this is going to get worse before it ever gets better. Judge Jeffrey Mayer has ruled against Vince McMahon's motion to enforce a federal court stay order in the case. As noted earlier, Mr. Grant had filed a petition in Connecticut seeking medical records from Dr. Carlin Coker in his clinic. The Coker and the clinic are not defendants. This just involves Vince, the WWE, and John Laurinaitis. AEW files a motion to dismiss a $250 million plagiarism lawsuit. Anthony Dwayne Wilson's lawsuit against WWE and AEW involves serious allegations of plagiarism. Wilson claims that both companies used his creative work, such as wrestling gimmicks, names, slogans, and likenesses, without his permission. He argued that this unauthorized use not only disrupted his plans to start his own wrestling promotion, but also hindered his discussion with the Bullet Club members. This is a serious. AEW's like, nah, we didn't do anything. We'll have to keep our eyes and ears on this one. The 2024 Bound for Glory location has been announced. It will be taking place in Detroit at the, what's the name of the arena? See if I can get it. Damn, I thought I had the name of the arena. Will be taking place in Detroit. We had Slammiversary already, waiting for the date, but this is going to be good. If you guys don't know, Bound for Glory is essentially TNA's WrestleMania. Logan Paul's Prime drink, they've been slapped with a $68 million lawsuit. Essentially, Refresco, who supplies Prime, is suing Prime for at least $67 million because Logan Paul and company did not order the 55 million cases. They only ordered 18.5 million cases. So we will see how that goes. Looks like they're going to be taking that Prime logo off of the ring. Thunder Rosa's Mission Pro Wrestling will be going into an indefinite hiatus right now. It's just tough running a company, and she's caught up with some other things in life and wrestling. They will be back though. This is just a goodbye for now. And some sad news: wrestling legend Kevin Sullivan has passed away. This guy was all over the business, and you can't really throw a rock somewhere without seeing or hearing his name, how he affected someone in some way. Anna Jay secured a victory in her Stardom debut. She's taking place in the 5-Star Grand Prix tournament, which will run until August 31st. This is her really first stint in New Japan Pro Wrestling / Stardom, and she got a W already. Wrestle Dream, the date and location has been confirmed. It will be taking place at the Tacoma Dome, October 12th. That is a Saturday. Wrestle Dream last year took place in Washington State as well. I got an idea who's going to be in the main event. On the injury side of things, Bryan Danielson reveals that he may need neck surgery, but he's going to continue wrestling, and then he's going to dial everything back. And Dakota Kai is also injured. We don't know the extent of the injury. That's why she was taken out on Raw. And same thing with Seth Rollins. He's not really injured. He's just battered. But that is the news, and we shall be right back with the week in review. The week in review, we are coming off the backs of SummerSlam and building towards All In. As usual, let's start off with Monday Night Raw. So essentially, Gunther comes out. He's introduced by Ludwig Kaiser. And who is Gunther's first challenger? Well, it'll be none other than Randy Orton. You got to remember, Gunther didn't technically beat Randy Orton in the King of the Ring final. So Triple H wanted to rectify that, and there we go. Bash in Berlin, Randy versus Gunther. Sheamus beat Ludwig Kaiser, but Pete Dunne tried to get involved and failed. They'll probably end up having a match at Bash in Berlin. Damian Priest wants to know why, and Finn says he waited because of SummerSlam 2023. Remember, SummerSlam 23 is when Finn challenged Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship, and he failed, and, well, Damian told him to man up. And Finn also said the Judgment Day is supposed to be a family, no leaders. And here we are with Damian Priest acting like the leader. And he, meaning Finn, debuts a new Judgment Day, which is Finn, JD, Dom, Carlito, and Liv Morgan. Bronson Reed tells Adam Pearce that he'll create his own path since nothing seems to be going for him. Lyra Valkyrie beat Shayna Baszler by DQ. Damage Control made the save. Chad Gable slightly convinces Ivy now to not associate with Maxine Dupree anymore. Punk comes out, right? He says he's proud that even though he lost, he is still able to look back and say, I'm back, I'm better. Seth comes out, and Seth just wants to fight. No words. Seth just comes out, takes his jacket off. But then Drew's in the crowd, and before they even start fighting, he taunts Punk again with the bracelet. So Punk goes after Drew, and then out of nowhere, Bronson Reed just absolutely destroys Seth Rollins. He hit him with 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 tsunamis. Seth is dead. Can't find that man's body. The New Day beat Authors of Pain and Odyssey. Jones finally debuted and made the save. Good Lord, X didn't know about this at all. Kofi had told X that he met Odyssey while he was rehabbing back at the Performance Center. I want to see where this goes. And Odyssey will not be replacing Big E. ATM Down Under are traded to Raw, and they end up defeating Awesome Truth as there is more miscommunication between The Miz and R-Truth, and it looks like The Miz is getting to the short end of his rope. Bron says no one will take the Intercontinental Championship from him. Damian Priest beat JD McDonough by DQ as the Judgment Day attack, and Rhea Ripley made the save. So now Priest and Rhea are super baby faces. Sonya Deville and company attacked Dakota Kai backstage, and the Io Sky defeated Sonya Deville. Jay hypes up Sami to get one more title match against Bronson Reed. In the main event, the Wyatts defeated the newly christened American Made. That'll be Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. This was good. Raw gets I'm gonna give Raw thumbs up. Over on Dynamite, this show also gets a thumbs up. All In is shaping up very, very, very nicely. MJF beat Kyle Fletcher in an American Championship Eliminator match. This was really good. Ospreay was slow to make the save, but couldn't stop his boy from getting beat. Mariah May beat Viva Van. Storm attacked Mariah May after the match. Jack Perry wonders what Darby would do to sacrifice to win, and Darby says to show up at Wembley. Don't worry about what I'm going to do. Katsuyori Shibata defeated Brian Keith. Hook returned to make the save. Orange Cassidy tells Renee that he's got some partners in mind for the tag match later. Hangman Page will get what he wants, and that is Swerve Strickland. I think he's going to screw Swerve at all. And Swerve had a sit-down interview with Jarrett and says, look, I know I did some bad stuff, but, I got to do what I got to do to win. And look at my climb. I went from wrestling on the pre-show of All In last year to the main events. Orange Cassidy and FTR defeated the Beast Mortals, Roderick Strong and Roosh. The Acclaimed and FTR end up fighting. Christian Cage will referee the number 1 contenders match between the Bang Bang Gang and the House of Black on Collision. Camille won a squash match and Britt Baker's suspension is lifted. And in the main event, Bryan Danielson defeated Jeff Jarrett in an anything goes match. This was fun. If you would have told me in 2024 Jeff Jarrett would be contributing heavily to professional wrestling, I'd have laughed at you, but he's been fantastic. Swerve comes out and is confident, and he wants a warm-up match against Wheeler Yuta. Over on Impact, we are building towards emergence. First things first, you got to trust the system. Trust the system. They are going to get what's owed to them. Moose challenges Santana to a match. Jonathan Gresham says, he's changed, he's different, and he did not have his mask on. He offers Kushida a handshake, and Kushida declines. Speedball Mike Bailey defeated Trent Seven and Jake Something to qualify for the Ultimate X match. Remember, Speedball's the Ultimate X champion. Giselle Saw gets another shot at Tasha Steelz with extra referees this time around. Santino grants Alexander Hammerstone an Ultimate X qualifying match, and he and Eric Young, Hammerstone, have unfinished business. Kushida defeated Jonathan Gresham. Speedball tells ABC that they should, try and qualify for Ultimate X, and ABC's like, last time this happened, it got a little tough between us, but, we can do something different this time. The Landers at a hotel calling PCO, and it goes straight to voicemail. Ash by Elegance causes a no contest between Jordan Grace and Rosemary. There was no title change. Josh Alexander runs down Nick Nemeth and says he'll be nothing more than what he was in the WWE, a transitional champion. Nick Nemeth comes out, gives him a super kick, and grants him a title match. Kaz does not like that Alexander's getting a title match. Zack Wentz qualified for Ultimate X, defeating Dante Chen and Casey Navarro. Macadona crashes the hotel where Steph Landers at and has PCO beaten up. In the main event, Joe Hendry defeated Wolfgang from NXT, and Santana and the System are fighting outside. This show gets a fist. Over on SmackDown, again, SummerSlam Fallout show, but this is all about the only tribal chief, the original tribal chief, one tribal chief. KO helps Cody scare off the bloodline. Cody offers KO a title shot for Bash in Berlin, but KO says he doesn't deserve it, declines. The Street Profits beat A-Town Down Under in a tag team qualifying match. KO was tricked in accepting the title match by Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes. Chelsea Green tells Tiffany Stratton that Tiffany is essentially going to cash in on Nia. We all know it. Jade beat Alba Fire, and Naomi made the save. I hate what they're doing to the tag team champions. LA Knight celebrates his title win. Santos Escobar once next, and I'm like, well, Knight has already beaten Santos multiple times. Santos ended up beating Andrade in a U.S. title qualifying match to earn a title shot thanks to Carmelo. Hey, so it looks like we're not done between Melo and Andrade. Austin Theory gets a match against Kevin Owens. DIY beat Pretty Deadly in the tag team title qualifying match, and in the main event segment, the Bloodline comes out. And Solo essentially says, listen, well, one, Jacob Fatu might be hurt because he wasn't with them, but he says, Roman, you want these legs from me, you have to come and get them. So what does Roman does? He comes out, he takes that Tonga Loa, he takes the Tama Tonga, he goes to take out Solo Sikoa, but he gets away and he leaves with the legs. So, yeah, Roman showed up, wreck shop, and then left. So we will see what happens. He didn't say a single word. Over on Rampage, Darby Allin ended up defeating the Butcher. I really like the Butcher. I wish he won more matches. And where's the Blade at, man? Don Callis wants Roosh to hurt Preston Vance. Remember, they are all part of the same group. Jay Lethal challenges Hangman Page to a match. He's tired of Hangman screwing over and messing with Jeff Jarrett. Excuse me. Wheeler Yuta defeated Rocky Romero, winning with the cattle mutilation. Willa Nightingale has an idea with Ishii. Private Party won a squash match. Hype for the Borrow match happening on Collision. Dustin Rhodes wants the Ring of Honor tag team titles. And the Kingdom give him a low blow saying, you ain't getting these. And in the main event, Saraya defeated Nyla Rose. This is just a way to get, build up Saraya and get her onto the All-In card. Over on Collision, this was an all-around good show. In the opening contest, Darby Allin and Hologram defeated the Premier Athletes, who always lose when it comes to like big opponents. Thunder Rosa defeated Deonna Purrazzo in a Texas Bull Rope match. This was bloody and brutal and then bloody. Thunder Rosa finally gets that big win over Deonna Purrazzo. But remember, Deonna Purrazzo is still up if you're keeping score. FTR defeated the Outrunners. Nick Wayne challenges Kip Sabian to a match on Rampage. Roosh defeated Preston Vance, and then brutalized him after the match. Swerve Strickland beat Ishii in an Eliminator match. Claudio challenges Okada to a Continental Championship match for Dynamite. Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway versus Willow and Ishii will happen at All In. This match will be going down on Zero. We had a sit-down interview with Bryan Danielson. And he knows that his body is telling him to stop, but he's got to go and win this last match. And in the main event, the House of Black took on the Bang Bang Gang, with the winners becoming the number one contenders to the AEW Trios Championships. And the special guest referee was none other than Christian Cage. And this was a great match. It was a really fun match. And here's what happened. There was a standing 10 count, and as Christian gets to 9, Buddy Matthews ends up getting up. And then Christian just turns around with spears him, counts to 10. No winner. And you wonder, how did Christian get this referee job? Well, remember, he is friends with the Elite, and then the patriarchy ends up beating up everybody. We're probably getting a triple threat match at All. And our matches of the week: from Raw, the Wyatt 6 versus American Made. From the G1 is currently going on, Shingo Takagi versus Sanada. El Phantasmo versus Konosuke Takeshita. Go watch this match. And Zack Sabre Jr. versus Gabe Kidd. From Dynamite, MJF versus Kyle Fletcher in an American Championship Eliminator match. Also Bryan Danielson versus Jeff Jarrett in the Anything Goes match. And from Collision, of course, the Texas Bull Road match between Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo. Our star of the week, Bronson Reed and Odyssey Jones, for absolutely making names for themselves. Yep, but that's our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Come up All In. Well, we've got a casino gauntlet going down, and there are some interesting names planned. I, for one, am very, very excited. Think of the gauntlet as a reverse Royal Rumble. Essentially, instead of being number 30, you want number 1, because the match is over when there is a pinfall or a submission. So if you're number 1, you get that quick pinfall or submission, you win the match. You can essentially win the match before every person is entered. So this is good. We'll see who's showing up. I got an idea for an almighty person. Randy Orton has signed a new contract with the WWE. This is extended from his previous deal. We don't know how long it is, but it's probably at least a 5-year contract. That should probably take Randy Orton to the end of his career. Ty Mello is getting ready for her return. As you know, she's been out on maternity leave. She's back to training for her entering return. Her husband, Sammy Guevara, has already returned, and Tay is next. Dan Garcia is pretty much at a crossroads as his AEW contract expired. He doesn't know if he wants to go to AEW, go back there, or go to the WWE. I think he's staying in AEW. This is figuring out the next big move for him. AEW is planning a stadium show in Australia in 2025. We will see how that goes down. The possible places will be Sydney's Allianz Stadium, Melbourne's Marvel Stadium, and Brisbane's Suncorp Stadium. We will see what happens there. Beth Phoenix is no longer affiliated with the WWE. Her contract is up. She's no longer signed there, so you know what that means. We're all going to speculate when she will eventually be joining AEW alongside her husband, Adam Copeland. And AEW has also revealed the date and location for All In 2025. It will be going down in Texas, Arlington, Texas, July 12th at Globe Life Field. That is the home of the Texas Rangers. In the 2026, it will be returning back to Wembley. Bobby Lashley and MVP are officially gone with the WWE. They have been added to the alumni page, and it sucks that on how they were just out. Lashley really never got to do much after his last WWE Championship reign ended. And some sad news: Afa Anoa'i, one half of the Wild Samoans, has passed away. You gotta remember, a couple weeks ago, Sika passed as well. We have lost a legend, ladies and gentlemen, on the injury side of things. Alexis Armahan, who's part of WWE's NIL program and was given the name Danny Palmer, is working her way back, and she made her in-ring return this past week on Level Up, taking on Jasmine Nix. She was out with double hip surgery back in January. Raquel Rodriguez, we have an update on her. She's getting treatment for MCAS, and she's in good spirit. She is got some stem cells going through. She's just working on training and getting back. Dakota Kai is out for about 2 months. She has a meniscus injury, I believe, which is why she was written off of TV. And Jay White is getting ready for his return. He was out with an injury, but looks like he's coming back. I really expect him to show up and get involved in the the Fatal 4-Way ladder match at Wembley Stadium. The pop is going to be crazy, and Adam Copeland gave us some progress on his injury. As you know, he fractured his leg, but he says he's healing well. Nothing is going wrong, but he is working to come back. But that is the news, and we shall be right back with the week in review. All right, let's get to the weekend review. We start off with Monday Night Raw, and this is one of the better shows. It gets a thumbs up, and here we have Bron and Bronson Reed reigning supreme. So we open up with Rhea Ripley, who calls out Liv and Dom, who hide up in the audience in the crowd. And Rhea essentially says she supported Dom. She saw him get better. She's proud of him. And Dom was like, I can't be calling no woman mommy now. I got a girl that's going to call me daddy. And he says Liv did something that Rhea can never do, and that was help him finally beat his father, Rey Mysterio. And Rhea's like, I wanted you to do it on your own, but now me and Priest gotta kill you. And Priest is right there behind him, beating up Dom, and Liv ran from Rhea. Yep, we got a mixed tag match going down at the Bash in Berlin. Ivy now tries to convince Maxine to stay in the back. Bo says something is coming and that their work isn't done. Odyssey Jones won a squash match, and Kofi once again steals the shine from Xavier Woods and sets up a 6-man tag match against the Final Testament. I'm really enjoying this story with Kofi and Xavier and the Final Testament. I'm really digging it, and it's good to finally get Odyssey Jones on TV. I like it. I'm with it. Drew McIntyre tells Adam Pearce that he'll deal with Randy Orton and get a title shot and not him. American May ended up defeating the Alpha Academy in a Tornado tag match after Ivy now attacked Maxine Debris, causing the distraction for her squad. So she's officially a part of American May. Looks like we got to get the Alpha Academy some more members. Tucky, I'm just saying. Bronson Reed tells Pierce to find him an opponent. Damage Control versus the Pure Fusion Collective, which is now the name of the team of Sonya, Zoe, and Shayna. Ends in a no contest at the Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn attack all the teams. R-Truth mistakenly got Miz a match against Bronson Reed. Gunther tried to get it under Randy Orton's skin. He almost did it, but Randy doesn't take the bait. Drew interrupts, saying he's coming for that world title, and then Randy hits Gunther with an RKO, and Punk attacked Drew. McIntyre Sheamus refutes Dunn's reasoning for being alone, and he had a health scare, and it's not Sheamus' fault that you couldn't fight for yourself. Bronson Reed beat The Miz and then absolutely murdered R-Truth and gave that man like 5 tsunamis, and that's a national treasure right there. And in the main event, Bron Breakker defeated Sami Zayn in the 2 out of 3 falls match, retaining the Intercontinental Championship. It was a very, very good match over on Dynamite, whose house this show also gets a thumbs up in the opening match, and I think one of the first for AEW, the woman opened the show. Let that sink in. Mercedes Moné retained the TBS Championship against Hikaru Shida. This wasn't the best match that they could put on, because I know for a fact these two could put on a 5-star classic in the Tokyo Dome. But Mercedes retains. Camille attacked the wrong person in the crowd and helped Mercedes get away from Britt Baker. Hangman attacked Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett backstage and ended up defeating Jay Lethal in a solid match. Pac's title shot finally will be coming at All Out. He was the true number one contender to the International Championship, so he will get the winner of MJF and Ospreay at All Out 2 weeks later. Just sucks not having Pac on the All In card. Darby Allin says nobody will miss Jack Perry, and Jack Perry ended up attacking Darby and damn near murdering that man before security stopped him. Mina Shirakawa says she still supports both Mariah and Tony and just wants everybody to get along. Orange Cassidy beat Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly to get the number one spot in the Casino Gauntlet match. Claudio Castagnoli wants the real Okada, not this stooge. And of course, Okada called Claudio a bitch. Christian is using the trio titles to get back to the world title. Hook accepts Jericho's challenge for All In, but first he's got to go through Big Bill. The Bucks defended the tag team championship against the Acclaimed, but the match ended in DQ after FTR got involved, who are feeling really, really salty. So Christopher Daniels sets up a number one contenders match between FTR and the Acclaimed on Collision. And at the main event, Swerve Strickland defeated Wheeler Yuta due to ref stoppage. Was dropping fist on Wheeler Yuta, just fist after fist after fist. And that's how Swerve won. Swerve ended up hitting the house call on Bryan Danielson as he was checking on Wheeler Yuta. We're getting good. I can't wait for All In, y'all. Over on Impact, NXT continues to make a name for themselves. So, for example, the show gets a fist. Riley Osborne from NXT defeated John Styler and Chris Bay to qualify for the Ultimate X match. Ooh. Nick Nemeth will prove just how good he is to Josh Alexander later in the evening when he defends the championship against him. Santino offers Cardona a choice. You either get a contract with TNA or you can go to jail for what you did in that wedding. Cass, Eric Young, and Steve McIntyre face off. They all got beef with each other. Giselle Shaw ended up defeating Tasha Steelz. The system is found to be standing over a fallen Mike Santana as they beat his ass. Santana isn't cleared to fight, but still wants to fight Moose, and of course Moose wins. But Santana gave us that good fight experience. He's finally getting that singles push that he was looking for. Say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry shows up with a chair to make sure Moose doesn't cause any more damage, and announces that Moose and JDC will face the Hardys next week. Spitfire challenges them Alicia to cheat again. Jason Hotch beat Ace Austin and Rich Swann to qualify for the Ultimate X match. Matt Cardona signs the contract, and in the main event, Nick Nemeth versus Josh Alexander for the TNA Championship ends in a draw, time limit draw, so Nick Nemeth retains, and Josh Alexander beats him up after the match and stands tall. Over on SmackDown, who is the Tribal Chief? Now, I'm going back and forth on giving this show either a fist or a thumbs up. I am just not sure. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Okay, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And I'll tell you why once we run through the rest of the show. So, Michin ended up ruining Nia Jax's championship celebration. Tiffany Stratton was there as the princess. Pretty Deadly was there to sing a song. I like this group. Pretty Deadly, Nia, Tiffany. It works. Give me more of it. Carmelo Hayes ended up defeating Andrade, so now he's down 2-1, even though he's keeping score, and they keep fighting after the bell. I think this is going to lead to a best of 5 series. I think what's going to happen is they're going to fight again, and Melo's going to tie it up, and we're going to get a series. Solo Sikoa tells Tama Tonga that he will acknowledge Roman Reigns if Roman can get the lay from him, because that's how they do it. It's still all about the Tribal Chief. Blair Davenport defeated Naomi in a really weird and not good match, and I've seen better from both of these women. Grayson Waller claims that he should be able to beat KO while KO getting a title shot. KO's like, yeah, you should be able to beat. Listen, KO's got imposter syndrome and all of that. And of course, KO beat Waller, and then Cody Rhodes made the save. So yeah, we're waiting for KO to turn heel, which I don't think will happen. Tama Tonga acknowledges Solo Sikoa. LA Knights also beat Santos Escobar and retained the United States Championship. And Michin gets a title shot, much to Chelsea Green's chagrin, so she barges in to Nick Aldis's office, and Nia Jax ended up jumping The Street Profits versus DIY. They fought in an amazing match with the Street Profits winning to earn a tag team title shot. This was the finals of that mini tournament that they had. This match was fantastic. You don't get many great tag matches like this in the WWE nowadays. In the main event segment, Roman Reigns ended up beating up Solo Sikoa to get the leg back from him until Jacob Fatu showed up and turned the tide. Roman catches a shield powerbomb, and Jacob Fatu is just a beast. He is a beast. And Roman is laid out, and Solo Sikoa is still your tribal chief. It's time for Roman to announce that he cannot do this alone. So I'm expecting Bloodline Civil War, Jimmy, Jay, Roman, and the honorary Solo, but Sami to join up. So we'll see what happens. So SmackDown does get a thumbs up because of that great tag match, because Michin is getting the push, because Nia Jax's there. I don't know where Bayley's been at, and because of that main event segment with the Bloodline, that overruled a lot of just basic stuff. Over on Rampage, the Conglomeration beat the Outrunners and the Butcher. Nyla Rose ended up beating Erica Lee, who was the Outrunners manager. Saraya wanted another title shot, and she's talking about her year that she's had. She's missed many pay-per-view, and she doesn't know why. So Tony offers her a gift. So Tony will be defending the championship against Saraya on Dynamite this coming week. Nick Wayne defeated Kip Sabian. I thought we were really going to do this match at All In, but here we are. Scorpio Sky gets into the private party. So right when I do a show about where's Scorpio Sky, here is Scorpio Sky just a few days later. Don Callis' family won the squash, and they'll focus on what's next. In the main event, Top Flight defeated the MXM Collection. Over on Collision, can we go with another show? Excuse me. Getting a thumbs up. Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite. Is Collision getting a thumbs up? It is not. It was a really good show, though. Britt Baker defeated Harley Cameron. This wasn't their best match, and Harley's looked really good these last few months. I think just Britt's still working off the ring rust, but come on, that's Britt Baker. Britt tried fighting off Mercedes and Camille, but failed. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara defeated the Kingdom to win the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. Chris Jericho will face the Dynamite Kid next week. Hologram beat Angelico in a solid mat-based technical match. Jack Perry won a squash match and debuted his new TNT Championship. Claudio Castagnoli defeated Leo Rush. Chris Statlander Stokely confirmed that the winner of the mixed tag match at All In will determine the stipulation for the Willow versus Chris match at All Out. Eddie Kingston addresses Bryan Danielson. He says, listen, if your heart's not into this, why are we doing this? And this would have been a good promo if it aired before the Jeff Jarrett match. You know what I mean? Mariah May won a squash match with Storm. Tony Storm shows up on screen and says, we'll give Wembley a show. And in the main event, FTR versus The Acclaim ended in a draw. This was for the number of contenders, but they will both be getting title shots. And now that I go back and think about it, Collision does get a thumb up. So that is Raw, Dynamite, SmackDown, and Collision all getting thumbs up. 4 really good shows last week. That was a first. That is a first, ladies and gentlemen. But our matches of the week from Raw: American Made versus Alpha Academy, that tornado tag match. Also from Raw, Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match. From the G1, congratulations to our winner, Zack Sabre Jr. From the matches that happened this past week, Yota Tsuji versus Konosuke Takeshita, Yota Tsuji versus David Finlay, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shingo Takagi, and in the final match determined the overall winner, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Yota Tsuji. Go check out all those 4 matches. Were absolutely fantastic. From Dynamite, Orange Cassidy versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong to determine who gets the number 1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match. From Impact, Nick Nemeth versus Josh Alexander for the TNA World Championship. From SmackDown, the Street Profits versus DIY to earn a Tag Team Championship match. And from Collision, FTR versus The Acclaim to also earn a Tag Team Championship match. But yeah, those were really good matches last week. We had 2 great tag matches, a great triple threat match, the singles match. This was good. It was a good week for wrestling. Our stars of the week, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara to become the new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. And of course, Zack Sabre Jr., winner of the G1 Climax. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. That is our show. Coming up, Rhea's contract is set to expire. She has a little bit of time left on her AEW contract. I do think she will be re-signing with AEW. Like, it's either that or TNA, because there's nothing for her to do in the WWE. But she was given an opportunity to wrestle again after coming back from that horrific neck injury. AEW and WB Discovery are negotiating an extensive new contract. We know this. We're waiting. This is supposedly one of the new deals, one of the new announcements that Tony Khan has lined up. We shall see. We're all waiting with bated breath. Rich Swann sadly has been suspended from TNA, checking to rehab after another disorderly intoxication arrest. You remember another time this happened a few years ago, back in 2022, when he got into it with some people, and it also included his wife, wrestler Sue Young. Mauro Ranallo is coming back to the world of professional wrestling after a 3-year hiatus. He will be the voice of Scott D'Amore's Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling promotion. It's great to have Mauro Ranallo back. Brody King slams Disco Inferno, because Disco Inferno is a piece of crap. Disco Inferno is one of those people that actively hate on AEW for some odd reason. And on his podcast, he says something to the like of the House of Black are problems backstage. And Brody King said, well, you can go F yourself. Yeah, you can go F yourself. Penta and Phoenix arrival to the WWE is seen as a very, very big deal. The Lucha Bros apparently will be going to the WWE, get that big WrestleMania moment. Hell, maybe even face Rey Mysterio. But obviously they're going to be just turned into another Latino faction. Ronda Rousey has issued an apology 11 years after sharing that Sandy Hook conspiracy video. If you don't know what happened last week, she had an AMA to promote her new book, and it went off the rails. It was pretty much only about her sharing that video. She drafted this apology, and it seemed really, really heartfelt. Came 11 years too late, but she apologized and looks like she feels remorseful. Spoiler alert, Forbidden Door 2025 will be going down in London. It was announced that will be happening. This was good. So they lose All In for 1 year, but we'll be getting Forbidden Door. Swerve Strickland has said that the backstage drama in AEW is kind of feels calculated. It just happens time and time again, and he's done with that. But seeing as how he is a great individual for the company, he has signed the contract extension with AEW. The man is on a roll, and an AEW prospect possibly has dropped a title ahead of his rumor debut, and it'll be one Michael Oku. He dropped his title back in what promotion was that? Rev Pro at the anniversary show. Looks like Michael Oku may be coming to AEW. On the injury side of things, Out of Hill Dove, I can go made a television return after his injury absence. He returned to AAA, facing. We didn't face anybody. He was in the backstage segment with Alberto El Patron and Cole Nan, but Viking Goat is back. Charlotte Flair's expected return is still months away. Looks like she won't be returning at least until at the earliest Survivor Series. And an NXT star is possibly injured during the tapings. That would be one Fallon Henry. Looks like she suffered a broken nose. But we've seen what happened with broken noses. You can still wrestle with those as long as you got the mask. Just ask her faction partner, JC Jane. And Shotzi reveals her in-ring status, and she is saying she is a few months away. Remember, she had that crippling leg injury that put her out for a long time. And an AEW star will be sidelined until 2025 after surgery. That'll be one Nick Camarado, former member of The Factory. He has been out for a while. Looks like he's going to be out a little bit longer, but that is the news, and we shall be right back. right, let's get into the week in review. And of course, we start off with Monday Night Raw. We're building to the Bash in Berlin. We open up with Gunther and Randy Orton having words with each other once again, rehashing kind of the same old things. We're just kind of biding time until we get to the show. Ludwig Kaiser attacks, and he and Gunther lay out Orton. Sheamus defeated Pete Dunne. This was a solid match. I kind of wish Pete Dunne won here. He had a really, really good game plan, went after Sheamus's hand, but Sheamus, who had his hand really tied up into the turnbuckle, won. So building Pete Dunne all up for that really didn't work out. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston talk it out, and Kofi essentially was like, "Look, X, I've been seeing what's going on, and what's up?" And X thinks Kofi brought in Odyssey to replace Big E. And Kofi's like, nah. We know what happened when we got here and no veterans wanted to help us, and we were on our own, and nobody wanted to give us a shot, so we got to go take it. Let's be different, and that's what he's doing with Odyssey. Jones, the Wyatts attack American Made, and Nikki Cross shines here. This was supposed to be Maxine Dupree versus Ivy Now, and the Wyatts had other things to say about that. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk set up their strap match, which will be going down at the Bash in Berlin. The New Day and Odyssey Jones defeated the Final Testament, so hopefully this feud is over. But if you went to social media, it looks like it's probably not. And Xavier Woods is befuddled as Kofi was going for the hot tag. He tagged in Odyssey and not Xavier. Rhea Ripley and Damian know it's a trap, but hey, they're going to fight anyway. Bronson Reed absolutely murdered The Miz, and he was going to give him, this was a no DQ match. Miz put up a great fight, but it was not enough. After the match, as Reed was going to destroy Miz, Braun Strowman stepped up, and I like this, but Bronson Reed has to run through Braun. The reason Bronson Reed hasn't been suspended is because, well, fans want to see him. He's making the company money. He's bringing in ratings. Ludwig Kaiser tells Sheamus that they're not done after Sheamus puts over Pete Dunne. Braun Breaker won't be giving up the Intercontinental Championship anytime soon. It looks like there will be a tournament starting this week with the winner facing Braun at whatever next pay-per-view is coming on. Probably No Mercy. The Judgment Day get the better of Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley as Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio never happens, and then they gloat backstage. I have not seen Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest laid out like this in a very long time. Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn retained the Women's Tag Team Championships over Damage Control and the Pure Fusion Collective. Jey Uso says he will be in the Odyssey title tourney and that Sami Zayn is taking some time away. And in the main event, Randy Orton defeated Ludwig Kaiser. Over on Dynamite, we had our All-In Go Home show. As Raw got a fist, this show got a thumbs up. So the contract signing between Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker ends with Britt attacking Camille because, there is a no contact order for these things between whoever signed the contract. But Britt was able to stand tall. Chris Jericho defeated the Dynamite Kid. This was a fun little match. Hook came out and Big Bill choke slams him. Toni Storm retained the Women's Championship against Saraya. This was a fun match, and I'm happy to see Saraya is really fully back. Mariah May attacked Toni Storm after the match. The conglomeration hypes all in. MJF and Will Ospreay have a tremendous segment touching on everything that's been going on. It's really hard to break this down. I would say go watch it and then go watch their match at all. But the segment ends with MJF bloodying Will Ospreay. We know the roles of opposites momentum in professional wrestling. Hangman Page attacked Evil Uno backstage and says he'll stop at nothing to make sure Swerve loses. Kazuchika Okada retained the Continental Championship over Claudio Castagnoli as they fight to a time limit draw, and the Bucks did not to restart the match. Oh well. Darby Allin and FTR defeated the Elite. The Acclaim come on says that they'll win it all in the main event segment, as the previous was the main event match. Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland have a confrontation which ends with Bryan Danielson saying he is the best wrestler alive, and he has been for the last 20 years. And there's nothing Swerve can do about that. This was just a really good go-home show. Over on Impact, we've got many moving parts. This show gets a fist. Alexander Hammerstone beat Cass and Kushida to qualify for Ultimate X. Cass attacked Kushida after the match. Eric Young says he and Hammerstone might not make it. Says Hammerstone might not make it to Emergence. And Macklin says he'll be watching what goes down between them two next week. Santana is not done with the system. Trust me, he ain't done. Rosemary defeated Alicia Edwards. Ash by Elegance challenged Grace for the title, which Grace accepted. And this will be contested under a match by Elegance. Zaya, Brookside, Rhino, and PCO defeated Steph DeLander, Khan, and Madman Fulton. This was supposed to be DeLander teaming with Cardona and someone else, but Cardona got a returning Khan and Madman Fulton. Steph DeLander did not want to be in the match against her husband, his best man, and her maid of honor. Laredo Kid defeated Jay Vidal and Gujar to qualify for the Ultimate X match. Speedball gives Rich Swann a title shot. Well, Jonathan Gresham defeated Charlie Dempsey from NXT, and there was no ink gimmick from Gresham here. In the main event, the Hardys beat Moose and JDC. Santana tried making the save. He failed after, the system got the numbers game, but then we believe, and out came Joe Hendry, who earlier this week qualified and will be facing Ethan Page at the next NXT event for the NXT Championship. We're on SmackDown. Solo still reigns and will KO turn on Cody. So we open up with the Grayson Waller effect. And they essentially show Cody, well, one, everything is not about you, but two, KO will eventually turn on you. And they have video proof. And it showed KO turning on Jericho and Kofi and Sami and John Cena and so on and so forth. And KO came out and said, listen, everyone deserved it except for Kofi. All right. Everyone deserved it. And the tag match is set up later in the evening, then a brawl breaks out. LA Knight retained the United States Championship over Santos Escobar. Yeah. Andrade wants another match against Carmelo. He confronted this man at the barbershop where Carmelo was getting his hair cut. That is disrespectful. So now you know what's going to happen. Melo's going to win, and it will be tied 2-2. Santos Escobar's pistol will take his anger out on Baron Corbin. Team Black Girl Magic, you know what I'm talking about, defeated Aladon, Alba Fire, and Blair Davenport. Solo strips Jacob Fatu of his tag team title, and Jacob did not look happy, but he made Jacob his personal enforcer. Bloodline retains against the Street Profits, and DIY tried making the save, but they ultimately fell because Jacob Fatu is that dude. There was no Roman Reigns here. Cody Rhodes takes KO at his word and says he'll have to be prepared for whatever happens next, which gave KO a perplexing look. Nia wants her crown fixed, which Tiffany Stratton and Pretty Deadly will go about doing. And then she catches Chelsea and Piper Green, kind of speaking some truth that Tiffany Stratton is just using Nia to get her to lower her defenses until she cashes in on her. We all know it's coming. In the main event, of course, Cody Rhodes and KO beat A-Town Down Under. And after the match, KO teased hitting Cody with the title, but then just gave it to him and helped celebrate with him. Now, I don't know if he planned it. Like, it just... Apparently KO is the only person in WWE that actually watches the show. We've been told this. Over on Rampage, the conglomeration beat Brian Cage, Beast Mortals, and Johnny TV. Roderick Strong defeated Fuego del Sol. Kyle O'Reilly was on commentary. Mina Shirakawa defeated Robin Renegade. Hikaru Shida will prove that she is the ace of AEW once again. The Gates of Agony won a squash match in the main event. The Von Erichs defeated the Outrunners. The Gates of Agony and the Undisputed Kingdom came out to attack, while Sami and the conglomeration made the save. Rampage was just there. This was like a nothing show. I think this was the last show, a part of their residency in Texas, but I wish they would have loaded up the show a little bit more for All In. But on the opposite side with Collision, this was the go home show, which got a fist. The conglomeration beat the Undisputed Kingdom. Willow Nightingale defeated Harley Cameron. Harley has looked really good since really stepping up into the ring more and more and more. Ishii was on commentary for both of these matches and said nothing. Private Party are the official MCs for All In. Katsuyori Shibata defeated Jay Lethal in a nice technical affair, and they showed respect to each other after the match. We had a vignette of Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander training, and then they won a squash match. Hook defeated Big Bill. Chris Jericho was a commentary for this. Jeff Jarrett defeated Ari Daivari, and Jeff Jarrett was super over. And in the main event, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac randomly beat Top Flight to move to the Trios title ladder match. All of the teams for that ladder match came out to brawl afterwards. Our matches of the week from NXT: Joe Hendry versus Wesley versus Pete Dunne, and a number one contenders match for the NXT Championship, I believe. Over on Dynamite, Kazuchika Okada versus Claudio Castagnoli for the Continental Championship. Over on Collision, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac versus Top Flight and Lio Rush. And of course, from All In, three of them things, Mariah May versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. Will Ospreay versus MJF for the American/International Championship. And of course, our main event, Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship. And our stars of the week, we got four. Don't pay attention to the screen at this point because I messed up my damn self. But we have Bryan Danielson, Mariah May, a returning, ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Hayter, and of course, Pac. But that is our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look on the Swerve Strickland has a new contract with AEW and is considered one of the biggest deals in the history of the company. He's extended up until 2028. He is now making money on par with both Mercedes Moné and Kazuchika Okada. They have faith in him and the WWE. There are people in the WWE feels like his contract is bad for business because essentially it means that the WWE has to start paying their fair share. If you don't know this, AEW, much like the NFL and NBA, have a 50-50 split when it comes to revenue, where the WWE has a 70-30 split. So yes, wrestlers getting the bag is bad for them. And some sad news, Psycho Sid, the legendary wrestler, has passed away. He was 64, I believe. He was dealing with cancer, and it just sucks. We lost another legend in this business. He will be missed, and it's tough when you see the guys that you've grown up with really just start to fade away. But we got to keep on keeping on giving our living legends right now their flowers. WWE has re-signed a couple people. Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza have both signed new long-term deals, along with Nikki Cross and Asuka. I'm kind of upset Asuka re-signed, but I can understand that she will pretty much stay with the WWE. She's there with Kyrie. She's happy. Former WWE star Paul London has joined MLW in a key producer role. This is good news for Paul London. Is a very smart man in this business. And Battle of the Belts 12 time and date and location has been revealed. It will be going down at the Everton's Health Arena in Stockton, California. It will be taking place that Thursday, October 17th, and will be airing that following Saturday. Vince McMahon's Netflix documentary has received a release date. It will be dropping September 25th. It will simply titled Mr. McMahon. It's 6 one-hour episodes offering in-depth exploration of McMahon's rise to prominence and his subsequent fall from grace. And executive producers have revealed that their goal is to pull back the curtain and reveal the true McMahon. But here's the thing, Janelle Grant was not interviewed for this documentary at all. Her legal team has made that statement. So if we're really going to pull back the curtain on Vince McMahon, why was she not interviewed? Victoria, aka Lisa Marie Varon, has signed a WWE Legends deal with them, so we'll probably be seeing her in the future. That contract includes more merchandise, new action figures, so on and so forth. She's a legend, man. And on the injury side of things, Cora Jade underwent a second Biodex test 7 months after her ACL injury, so it looks like she will be kind of raring to go probably like another 3 months or so. We have an update on Keith Lee. He's still out. He is still sick, where you don't know what he's dealing with, but he is working on it. We haven't heard anything from his wife, Mi Chen, but no news is, in my opinion, good news. Tay Mellis confirmed that she's medically cleared for her interim return, and she is getting ready to train. saying her husband, Sammy Guevara, has already come back. And it looks like Alicia Edwards got hurt at the Emergence event. She was rendered unconscious during the match and has been placed in concussion protocols. Hopefully everything's all well with her. That is the news, and we should be right back with the week in review. All right, Monday Night Raw. Obviously, we start with that. It was the go-home show for Bash in Berlin. Honestly, all the shows this week were just good. Some were better than good, but nothing really reached that great level. But Raw gets a fist. We start with the Judgment Day celebrating, and they're interrupted by the LWO, which leads to a match between the LWO and the Judgment Day. And of course, the Judgment Day get a win with Ray getting pinned again. Rhea and Damian Priest make the saves just to get the Judgment Day a W for their match at Bash Berlin. Bronson Reed tells The Miz he will come for him after he's done with Braun Strowman. And things are good with the New Day. They've hashed things out, but I don't really believe that. I think that's just lip service. Damage Control beat the Pure Fusion Collective, so we put these three women together just for them to lose. Bo Dallas, I see, is a purge, and there's a reckoning coming. And after he's done with Chad Gable, they're coming for somebody else. We had a standard Drew McIntyre and Punk segment to get us ready for their strap match at Bash in Berlin. Jey Uso defeated Kofi Kingston and Karrion Kross to move to the Odyssey title fatal 4-way. Randy Orton hypes his title match. Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman ended in a no contest. And as they fight their way to the back, Bronson Reed killed Braun Strowman, gave this man a tsunami on top of a car. It was a thing of beauty. Pete Dunne defeated The Miz and Xavier Woods to move to the Odyssey final Fatal 4-Way match as well. And in the main event, Uncle Howdy made his in-ring debut, defeating Chad Gable. It sucks for American Made. They were just never going to look good in this feud. They were just taking L's left and right. Over on Dynamite, we had our All In Fallout show as we build to All Out, which is only a week away at this point, or 2 weeks. So this show gets a fist, but Jon Moxley comes out. He returns. We haven't seen him since Forbidden Door, and he says he wants to talk to a man who's nothing like him, but is everything like him. That is one Darby Allin. He says it's about time they have a talk, right? As he leaves, he comes back in the ring and tells Tony Schiavone, hey, this is not your company anymore. What does that mean? Who was he talking to? He's probably talking to Tony Khan, but this line is taken straight from the movie Romper Stomper. It's the movie that put Russell Crowe on the map. Just pay attention. The conglomeration hypes their upcoming matches. Hangman that ended up defeating Ishii. Swerve confronted Hangman after the match. Says, listen, you're sad, you're sorry, you disappeared. I understand you was on fan leave and whatever, but we're done. I've beaten you over and over and over again. But if you want this, you can get it. And they will set up a steel cage match for All Out. Jamie Hayter made her in-ring return, defeating Harley Cameron. Roderick Strong wants to learn to choose help in saving Kyle O'Reilly from the conglomeration. MJF announces his American citizenship. The diamond ring is legitimately gone. So Dan Garcia comes out, attacks him. Was about to get this man a super power driver off the top rope until security stopped him. He tells MJF that in kayfabe he took the ring and sold it, and he rushes it back to go after MJF one more time. But they will be facing each other at All Out. The conglomeration and Hook defeated the Learning Tree and Roderick Strong. After the match, Roderick Strong laid out Hook, so it looks like Hook has his next challenger. Mercedes Moné and Mariah May both have celebrations back-to-back, actually, on their title victories and retainments. This was fine. I wish there was another match. I kind of wish Mariah had a match. Grizzly Young Veterans won FTR. Ricochet debuted and defeated Kyle Fletcher. Ospreay comes out to talk to his man, but Pac attacked Ospreay on the round because, they're facing each other for the International Championship at All Out. Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir attacked some people backstage, so she's now in line with Jon Moxley. And in the main event segment, Bryan Danielson's full-time career will be over when he loses the belts, and he lays out an open challenge for All Out. On the screen, Jack Perry accepts and then jumps him from the back. So yeah, that's our main event probably for All Out. Over on Impact, we had our Emergence Go Home show. So Speedball Mike Bailey defeated Rich Swann. Joe Hendry defeated Brian Myers. Mike Santana came out after the match, and then he defeated Eddie Edwards. Mac Cardona is medically cleared. for Emergence, but he's found a replacement to face PCO at Emergence. Alexander Hammerstone defeated Eric Young, and Steve Macklin says, yo, E, you took your eye off the ball. ABC defeated Cody Deaner and Jake Something. First Class attacked after the match. Jordan Grace retained against Ash by Elegance for the Knockouts Championship. This was really, really solid. This was a match by Elegance. It was essentially a false count. Anywhere match, street fight, etc., etc. Both the Militia and Spitfire got involved to make sure their respective partners could win the match, but ultimately Jordan Grace won, and Nick Nemeth and Josh Alexander had a sit-down interview, and just kind of threw shots at each other, getting us ready for their title match at Emergence. And then we have the Emergence results. Zack Wentz won the X Division Championship in the Ultimate X match. Steve Macklin defeated Eric Young. Jordan Grace and Spitfire defeated the Militia and Ash by Elegance. ABC retained the tag team titles over First Class. Seeing as how Rich Swann is currently suspended, the newest member of First Class is KC Navarro. The System beat the Hardys, Joe Hendry and Santana. Nick Nemeth defeated Josh Alexander in an Iron Man match to retain the TNA World Championship. I think he won the match like 3 falls to 2. Then in the surprise, JBL made his way to the ring and whispered something into Nick Nemeth's ear. Over on SmackDown, this was the Bash and Berlin Go Home show, and honestly, it wasn't a really good show. It was so ho-hum. Gets a thumbs down. LA Knight says he has an open challenge, so he'll defend the championship against anybody, and Ludwig Kaiser accepted. LA Knight retained. Los Garzas defeated Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. Solo Sikoa says no matter what happens between Cody and KO, he got next. Acknowledge the new bloodline. We had a standard Cody and KO segment. They were just saying stuff, whatever. A-Town Down Under confronted Crews and Corbin after in the back. Mella beat Andrade with his finisher. So look at this. They both beat each other with their finishers and both were roll-ups. So we're clearly going to get a 5th match. And in the main event, Nia Jax retained the Women's Championship against Michin in a street fight. Tiffany Stratton got involved to make sure Michin can win. It looks like when Nia Jax was down, she was going to cash in Money in the Bank. But Bayley came out to help Michin, but still Nia Jax retained. She hit an Annihilator off the top onto a trash can. That's Michin was in. Over on Rampage, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett beat the Undisputed Kingdom and Private Party in a triple threat tag match. Mina Shirakawa got herself a W. It wasn't quite a squash, but she still won. Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander talked some trash for the match against Will Omega at All Out. It was a young veterans beat the Outrunners. Nyla Rose won a squash match in the main event, which was absolutely fantastic. Check out this match. Konosuke Takeshita defeated Leo Rush, Commander, and the Beast Mortis in a fatal 4-way. Over on Collision, this was another quick build show since we have All Out coming in about a week, 2 weeks. Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Hologram defeated Lee Moriarty, Johnny TV, and the Beast Mortis. And the thing to know about this match is that Hologram is over. He is, he debuted during the Arlington shows, and it looks like he has done a fine job getting himself over. Keeping him on that one show has worked wonders for him. The Bang Bang Gang defeated the Premier Athletes. Mercedes Monet, we had a recap from her. Title defense against Momo Kogo at Capital Collision. FTR defeated the Undisputed Kingdom and Grizzly Young Veterans to attack FTR after the match. Lance Archer beat up some people backstage. Top Flight, Leo Rush, and Action Andretti defeated the Iron Savages and Outrunners. Kyle Fletcher defeated Tomohiro Ishii in a fantastic match. Go check out that spirited affair. The conglomeration accepts Pac's Trios Challenge for Dynamite, I believe. Buddy Matthews defeated Commander, and in the main event, Hikaru Shida defeated Thunder Rosa, Queen Aminata, and Serena Deeb to face Mercedes Monet at All Out for the TBS Championship. Shida wants to prove that she is still the ace of AEW, but the real story of this match was Serena Deeb wanting to partner up with Queen Aminata, maybe to teach her something. So we'll see how that goes. Our matches of the week. Check this out from Dynamite. We got Adam Page versus Tomohiro Ishii. From Impact, Mike Santana versus Eddie Edwards, and Jordan Grace versus Ash by Elegance for the TNA Knockouts Championship, and a match by Elegance. From Emergence, Nick Nemeth versus Josh Alexander in an Iron Man match From Rampage, Konosuke Takeshita versus Commander versus Leo Rush versus The Beast Mortals. From Collision, Kyle Fletcher versus Tomohiro Ishii, and of course the main event match featuring the women, Hikaru Shida versus Queen Aminata, Thunder Rosa, and Serena Deeb in a fatal 4-way match. I was trying to find a way to maybe add some SmackDown, Raw, and even NXT matches, but nothing really got over that hump. WWE's giving us basic pay-per-views with 5 matches. It's not good. NXT almost came close, but we just couldn't get there. Our star of the week, debuting last night at No Mercy, is the one and only Julia. But that is our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Check out the screen of things we got coming up this week and the following week. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.